Matthew, Mark, Luke, John are 12 apostles. Roman, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrew, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation. That is a song that was composed by whoever. I don't know the original composer, but this has really helped in trying to know the next book of the Bible. In New Testament especially, the one of Old Testament, I'm not sure that I know them, but I think I heard about the song, but I've not mastered it. So at times it still looks like, where's Daniel? Where's the book of Esther? Where's the book of Jonah? And it's really funny really. But I want some. That was just a preamble beginning. I hope it was funny to you. And I want to talk about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those were the major beginning parts of the New Testament that has different versions and different points of views of Jesus's birth, his journey, his ministry on earth, crucifixion, resurrection, and all that. And Mark and Matthew, especially in chapter 4, each of them, they had the story of Jesus's temptation and baptism and all that. And it dawned on me that one book of that, those four that I mentioned, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, none of them had a complete full story. And it shows how God is so very wonderful and so very intelligent and so very intentional. It won't give everybody, it will not give just one person everything. Even the one thing that maybe the 5 talents or maybe the 6 talents that he has given to one person, we can see how they are making doctrine out of it, how they are making commandments out of it, out of those lifestyle, how they are making a huge bunch of doctrine, commandments, how you must live your life out of that mindset. Your mindset is a filter to how you live your life and how you, if you are opportune to be in a leadership position, it will also infiltrate into how you lead those people. That is why every organization, be it career, be it social, be it religious, they cannot do things the same way. Some will not like black color, some will not like red color, some will abhor you from eating some kind of food. Is that bad? And that was why, before I go back to the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that was why Peter was not flexible. God wanted to use him too for Gentiles in a way, but God did always have alternative. God did always have someone. That was why he was able to use Paul, because Paul was flexible, Paul was well educated, versed, and all that. So God was able to use that to reach out to those sets of people. God loves everybody, and it was so your education, your experiences, your exposure, your background, your open-mindedness, your pains, your bitterness, everything, they might not be orchestrated by God, but God is still intentional about using all of it to reach out to souls that are coming behind you. Those kind of bitter experiences might not be palatable to you. It might not be like you permitted this. It might not be your fault. It might be your fault. It might be that it's a consequence to whatever you chose to do. But notwithstanding, all things still work together. All things still work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. That incident might not be palatable, but God can still use it, because this life is in circles. There will still be somebody someday that has gone up it, or that is coming up the ladder, that you will need your encouragement, and nobody can say it like you will do, no matter how many of you that are in that particular arena you get. So Peter, at a point when there was a Cornelius now, this centurion that was praying, that God told to go to Joppa, he was a call for Peter, let him come and preach to you and all that. Amazingly, before the soldiers, the servants that spent was it Cornelius now sent to Peter, before they got to Peter, they had to, I think they went 3 days journey. God excuse me, already showed Peter a trance. Peter was one of the disciples that even had close relationship with Jesus while he was on earth. So you can see that it's not as if it was indirect transformation like Paul. Despite that Peter had a relationship with Christ personally, he still had a closed mind. And God showed him a trance releasing down a flat, according to what was described, like a drop down tablet with all kinds of food and animal, four-footed animals already killed and frozen and grilled, I think. And he said, kill and eat. I was like, no, this is forbidden animals that we have been told not to eat. He was still quoting the scriptures, he was still quoting commandments when God has said, whatever God has called clean, do not call unclean. So God was trying to see how we could break into his mindset, how we could break into his preconceived mindset and this set mind. But it's a pity that after that one that you went for, God could not use him expansively for different sets of people with different mindsets, because he would not be able to reach out to them. It even showed when Paul was trying to reprimand him that at a point when his people were with him, that's Peter, when they were around, Jews, is it Jews now, or his people, when they are around, they will behave like as if he's not relating with Paul's sets of people. But when they are not around, they'll be eating with them. It will be, you get, not looking like hypocrites, kind of. And Paul had to call him out. You are older than me in this faith thing. You even dined and wined with Jesus, but you are behaving like hypocrites. Why is it that when people are not, when your guys that you have the same kind of mindset are not around, you'll be relating well with the Gentiles, but when your people are around, you will be behaving like as if you don't know us. What is the matter? Is it what Christ taught you? That is why there will always be different people in different sectors with different mindsets, with different cultures that will be raised by God so that they can be able to relate with their people in the language they will understand. Because there will always be a set of people that will not want to relate with other set of people because of their mindsets. And God will not be stranded. Now back to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John storyline. Looking at one of those days, my daddy was trying to exhort people in church in one of the Easter programs in church, and it was like, help me look for the 7 words of Christ on the cross. It was Easter season. So I noticed that no one book, I wrote it somewhere, I wanted to even come and talk with it, but no book of the Bible has it all the 7 words of Christ. Probably when Matthew was crying somewhere, maybe just like photographer team, videography team, if they have enough gadgets, one, they will scatter around different side of the event center or the event venue, so that they will be able to cover as much as possible they can cover. That's just the way I can picture it. Maybe all the disciples were scattered. It was only Peter that followed closely before and denied Christ, and at some point might have followed closely later, and probably got a glimpse of different things that Jesus said. Thankfully, they all had scattered points. They didn't have it in one chapter. So that showed that something happened there. So that showed that you can't have it all. So don't have a closed mind. God has his own people everywhere, and we are one of them. Be willing to be flexible so that God can use you. And you are not for everybody. All in the name of you want to be used for everybody. You want to be able to be flexible. Don't lose the sight of your scripts. Don't lose the sight of your script. Be focused. God bless you. Thank you.